Hey everybody, Mobile Gamers Unite. It's like 4 or 5 in the morning. Had a long day and night. I'm waiting to take my dog in for surgery, so hopefully he will be okay. Bulldogs come with a lot of complications, unfortunately, and it's like a 60-40 situation, so I haven't exactly been able to get much sleep. So I've been up playing gacha games. And I made a lot of progress in last Cloudia, and I wanted just to kind of share some of that with you and maybe talk about some of the awesomeness in this game that I've experienced in the past 3 days of playing it, because I cannot put this thing down. This game is it right now. It's hot shit. I love it, absolutely love it. And if you guys recall my last video, I was talking about how I think it's funny that, Ray kind of cusses out his opponents while he fights them, calls people bastards and assholes. But I did say it was probably going to be years till we ever saw an F-bomb get dropped. Well, I got news for you. And I quote my favorite character in the game, Ray. What did he say? I want to make sure I get this right. Oh yeah. Fuck icicles, they can go to hell. Yes. Ray said that. It's in one of the subquests. You gotta go to the volcano to make medicine to get the band back together for this little girl that you met at the Oasis. But yes, in their little banter, Ray is like, yeah, fuck popsicles, they can go to hell. I love it. I effing love it. I laughed so hard. Oh, it was great. So, other than that, I've been finding a lot of awesome stuff on the world map. A lot of little treasure chests, a lot of different stuff to click on. There's secret levels, the Oasis, there's the sunken treasure ship. There's just a lot of different subquests, and I suggest everybody, while you're playing through this game, keep poking at this map, because every time you clear an area, there's something around it that might open up somewhere. I know one of these treasure chests you can't get till you clear the area. So just keep poking and looking all around here, and you'll see subquests pop up and all sorts of stuff. And look for little treasure chests. Let's see. Other than that, I didn't think that one through that well. Hold on, I gotta resize this. So we want to get back into the character screen, but unfortunately I made the screen too big. Sorry everybody. That's what I wanted, just the damn back button. Unfortunately, this is running on a laptop, so it's a little different navigating through all this with a mouse, so pardon me everybody. And as I said, it is late. Alright, so let's look at some of the units in this game, and I gotta say, I think I've been pretty lucky, and I'd love some feedback on this. Guys, let me know how you pulled and the stuff that you got, because as far as I can tell, this game has awesome rates. Yeah, I watched Hal pull 2 SSR arcs in a row, the ones that he wanted. I've seen other pull videos where people just have great results, and typically, everyone I see on my friends list, a lot of them have SSR arcs up, so I know stuff's dropping for people. That's pretty cool, and I think I got fairly lucky myself. We'll look at the characters that I got. So I bought the $7 bundle like, 4 times or something like that. So for about $30, and everything else I've grinded out through the map. I showed you guys the map where I was at, like past the White Laboratory. There's a lot of crystals, especially if you do the subquest, and you can get quite a few of the 11 pulls. And I did just that, and I gotta say, statistically speaking, it's crazy. I've pulled an SSR just about every damn 11 pull that I've done, and I've pulled 2 SSRs off of single pulls. Yeah, that I could not believe. It's great to see him turn red. And as far as characters go, I got a dupe of this girl right here. So I technically pulled even one more SSR character than this list. I did awaken her. Yeah, you can use their shards to awaken them. and I got 30 shards of her by pulling a dupe of her instantly. And what the awakening did is it increased her stats a little bit, and it also, one of her abilities now restores more magic points to the party, so it pretty much made her more of a mana battery than she already was, which is awesome. That is a very, very good thing for her. Oh, cool. I unlocked that. So yeah, this girl is a mana battery, and I plan to use her in the future if I get any mages. Not if, but that's the thing that I don't have in this game right now. I want either... Come on, can we scroll down? I want the vampire mage. There's two of them. Oh, yeah, we have the ice princess too. Just pulled her. But the character I was the most excited about was Brave Fencer Musashi. This guy, actually. Should call him God Killer Musashi. God Hunter Shin. Shin is absolutely amazing. I needed a character like this because I needed a single target damager, and he is very good at that. His trait, he has a probability to be immune to physical attack, so he pretty much has an evade rate, right? And you can stack this with guard and stuff like that. I'm still experimenting there to see what I can do with him, like defensive wise. But offensively, he's already got a bunch of attack and crit and stuff built in like that. And as far as his abilities go, his ultimate ability, Might of Heaven, let me tell you, Heaven's pretty damn mighty in this, okay? I just absolutely love this finishing move. It tears a single target a new one. Like the very last hit in it hits for a couple grand by itself, and there's probably 10 other hits leading up to that, and they're hitting for hundreds. So it's a shit ton of damage to one target. You obviously want to wait till the boss is broken and then drop this if you can, and it just does wonders. So this guy's really awesome. The other thing I like about him is he has a small attack range, but he does a shit ton of damage. So if you can group up your enemies together, he can cut through all of them together. These two abilities, Moon Arc and Marking, they are a partial aerial attack, so he can reach people up in the sky. Moon Arc actually does more to flyers, so that's really good. These two do a lot of damage, so he can throw people up, he can disrupt them by juggling them. He can't juggle people in the air that long, like the ice mages can, and like pretty much anyone that can cast that Earth Tornado spell. They can really float enemies in the air for a while. While enemies are floating, they can't obviously attack you. But just throwing them up in the air for a second is good enough, because you can disrupt attacks like that, and you can also stop casters. So it's good that he has that in. It's some utility. This guy is not the best crowd control because, again, his AoEs are not, they're not like a big AoE. He has a small attack range with most of his abilities. But if you can use one of your other characters to group the enemies together, he can do like Refined Fang, and that's a medium range, so pretty much anybody in front of him, in a line in front of him, he can hit a ton of enemies with it, and they take a ton. It's one of those pretty much badass anime samurai moves where the samurai just like jets by his enemy, and then he puts his sword away, and then the dude's head falls off. That's pretty much what happens, and it's cool. That's the other thing about it, is you can use this to actually get away from people. If a boss is dropping a big ass attack that you can't evade, and you're going to take a ton of damage, you can actually use this ability, and you'll do some damage to the boss, and you'll end up on the other side of the screen, so you can get out of their threat range. So it's pretty cool. I use it as an escape sometimes when I'm fighting like an ogre boss, and I can see him charging up his attack. So there's a lot of different things you can do with this guy as far as damage. He's fun to play. You will be tapping the change target button while running this character a lot. That's because you want him to keep attacking like the boss, or you don't want him wasting his time running around the map chasing a goblin. So that's what I've learned with this guy. When he's applied properly, he can just do a shit ton of damage. So I've been building him up. So another character that I've really enjoyed is Graven the Sky Hero. This is the first hero that I pulled, so he's got some power to him. Let's see, let's look at his skill set. This is what I've managed to grind out for him in, the first day and a half of playing, and then I switched to God Killer Shin, and they're gonna have like a lot of the same killers and stuff like that. I mean, this is pretty much what I have on both of them. I have attack up, plant killer, undead killer, impact, crit up, and pretty much Musashi has some attack up and some more crit up. And these characters are doing hella damage. I mean, they're doing great for where I am in the game right now. I'm only, this guy's level 26. I think my highest character is level 29, but I don't think that's really that bad. So some starter advice I gotta give real quick for people starting characters. You wanna check and see what materials it costs to enhance your character, because your character is stuck at either a 20 level threshold, 40, or he can go all the way up to 60, depending on how many times you star him up. So you don't want to run a party of fresh characters that are all taking the same required materials to level up their level threshold, because then you could get stuck with a character at level 20 until you can gather these materials. And if your character's at level 20, obviously your other characters are going to keep progressing and they're going to be stuck there, and you're going to be wasting experience. So I would suggest anybody, getting a new party together, go through and look at what each character requires, and hopefully you got enough to go around when the time comes, because when each of your characters reach level 20, you have to star them up. There's no way around it, unless you just want them to be level 20, and I don't know how far you're going to get with all that. So let's see. Who is the... yeah, before I forget, this is what was important about this. So these materials that you need for enhancing, you can get these with friend points. Okay, so I highly suggest that new players, right off rip, you need to go to your friends list and you need to request that your friends are giving you friend points, because by default it's going to be on gold. You don't want gold, you definitely want friend points, because if you go into the shop, it's not just for buying stuff. You can go to, where is it, the marketplace? Yes. Where the Crimson Ore is, you can go all the way over. We have some kind of event exchange. I didn't even look at that yet. But we have a friend point exchange too. And as you can see, there's a lot of nifty stuff here that you can buy with friend points. So friend points in this game can actually be very valuable, which is really cool. That's why I see a lot of people, even at a lower level, that have already maxed their friends list out with as many friends as they could. I did myself spend a couple hundred crystals to increase my friend list size, because I needed stuff like, glowing phosphate to awaken one of my heroes. So this is all very important. I wish I would have known this on day one. It would have saved me a lot of time and a lot of grinding if I would have known that I could have just used friend points. Alright, other than that, the friend point summons aren't bad either, because they give you things that you can use to power your characters up. And what I mean by that is to unlock their abilities. There we go. So this is Shin's abilities that I have gotten for him so far. He's probably the most complete character that I have right now as far as abilities go. So this is about where I'm at in the game. I almost got him filled out, and then obviously I have to awaken him once more so I can get the abilities out here. That's pretty much how that works. So just a quick rundown. But but he's not a Sky Captain. Sky Hero Graven, this guy is a badass. He has really good crowd control, and he has an amazing break. Come on, kitty. His best crowd control move is Sky Flash. It's a large area of effect. He hits everybody around him and throws them up in the air. And by the way, this guy's trait is when enemies are up in the air, he gets increased to his critical rates. So he's going to be critting a lot when people are in the air, and as it would happen to be, he just keeps throwing people up into the air with Sky Flash. This guy is very good at holding the enemy up, throwing them up in the air, doing extra damage to them. Divine Slash goes all the way across the screen, and you can hit casters with it and people down the ways a bit. Divine Slash is very good for disrupting magic, or just messing people up in the middle of their attack, and obviously so is throwing them up into the air. Wings of Broken Light, this, from what I have noticed, is an amazing break move. This move is a little bit harder to land. Like, you kind of have to know where you're at and where your enemy is, and you got to make sure they're not moving around too much, because it's really easy to move out of the threat range of this. But if this hits, this breaks a boss a lot. This is probably one of the best breaks that I've seen with the characters that I've played, so I know that. Heavenly Dragon Cannon, it's just a lot of good damage AoE to everybody. Okay, it's like, it's not as much as Brave Fencer Musashi's dropping, but he's doing single target. So Graven's a very interesting character. I didn't see too many of him on my friends list, so you know, I don't know what the deal with that was, but I thought he was pretty rare to find on the friends list. I see a lot of the other heroes. I see a lot of this princess right here, the Ice Princess. She definitely has some good crowd control too. She can make like a little blizzard go around her, and she can keep enemies up in the air for a good minute and do a good amount of damage to her. They were talking about pulling her in one of Howl's videos, but I haven't really played around too much with her. But she definitely is a lot of people's favorite, I would guess, or maybe that's just the hero that they pulled. And then of course we have this girl. She's on my main 3. I constantly run her because this girl acts as my primary healer. She has a skill that heals a little bit, obviously, with Flash Heal. Now, important, you can teach any character any abilities, or not abilities, but spells that you want. So, obviously, I just loaded this girl up with a bunch of healing spells and tried to increase her mana a little bit so she could cast a few of them, because her only healing skill is Flash Heal, and it takes a long time to charge that up. Sorry guys, a little raspy. Yeah, so this is what I have for her. Just a lot of any type of healing I can get. Heal, Healing Wind, Regenerate, and that's pretty much what I use with her. I try to keep the attack magic off of her because I don't want the auto to start throwing spells. I want to really save this girl's mana pretty much for healing. Any damage she's going to do off her skills, but I also do have like Weak and Darkness and quite a few other things here to play with. As far as passives go, she has MP up and Magic Defense up. So, and this is the closest thing to a healer that I have that's actually leveled up. I did just, well, I didn't pull this girl. You get, obviously, Theria. You get her from clearing the White Laboratory where they were doing experiments on her. And I'm assuming that she is a healer herself, but obviously I haven't really got a chance to play with her. We can see what her skill set is. Not her skill set. Actually, yeah. She gets heal. And no passives to start with. Okay. So, like I said, just unlocked her. We know Ray the Beast is a good safe bet to power up. I will be powering mine up. Ray actually doesn't come with any traits, oddly enough, but I think it's just because his stats are so high. I mean, he is a beast. I've seen a lot of people like use him on their friends list, like put him out there as, their hero because he gets so powerful. I've ran with a few of these that were just ridiculous. They had a ton of hit points. They did a ton of damage. He does lightning spells and stuff like that. So Ray is a really solid, awesome character. That or just maybe that many people just like him that much because he's just that awesome asshole of a character that you just gotta love. But I see a lot of him on my friends list. And same thing with the main character in this game. There's quite a few people that still have Kyle the Swordsman up, even when they're level 30. So that's pretty cool. That says a lot about this game, when even the main characters that you start with are getting a lot of love. Also, Labette. Is that her name? Okay, it's Lilibet. I've seen this girl be very powerful too as a sniper. I have a friend on my friends list, and under his profile it says, I love redheads. And of course, this is his hero that he rocks. I just kind of thought that was funny. He's got a redhead fetish, so of course he's going to rock this chick. But she seemed to do a lot of damage. This girl can put in some work with that sniper shot she's got. And the further away people are, the more damage it does. That's just awesome. That's an amazing trait to have for long distance attacks. The further, the more damage. Love it. So I'm going to work on her. I'm probably going to work on all these characters. But here is a very important character. This is the tank that we are all getting if you log in for 2 days. White Knight Melza. This girl's definitely worth investing into. She is a super tank. She might be the best tank in the game. I don't know because I don't have all the other heroes. But I think she is. Or let me just say, I wouldn't be surprised if she is the best tank in the game right now. This girl can shrug off damage, so much of it, especially if you... These are the passives that I put on her. She's got hit points up, defense up 2, guard, vigilance, and then I got just like some beast killer, plant killer that I can change, spirit killer, undead killer. She has patience, pose of victory, and impact. And I love impact. That definitely helps. As far as magic goes, she just has like cure poison and cure silence, and she has regenerate to throw on herself. And tornado storm that I don't really use. I like to have my attackers either have a buff for themselves or a break for the enemy, like Graven has, so that my caster can save her mana to use healing spells. Pretty much. The way I look at it is characters like Graven and Musashi, who are attackers, they're not really, most of the time they're not even going to use their magic points. So you might as well put them to use for something. They have magic point pools that are like 18, 25 magic points. Well, you can put weaken on them. Or what is it called? It's not weaken. It's a break that breaks a boss or whatever, lowers their attack. Who has it? Graven has it. Let's see. Right here. Giga Blazer. This, all enemy strength minus 20%. So even if he can only cast this once, it's nice for him to bring it to the end where there's a boss, and right when the fight pops off, boom, the enemy's got 20% less strength. So that way my actual caster doesn't have to waste her magic points casting this stuff. Because let's be real here, this guy's a physical attacker. His mana bar was probably just going to be untapped that whole fight. So that's what I like to try to do. I'm sure everybody has different strategies on what magic they want to bring, and obviously what materials they've been working on for what heroes. But these are my two most complete characters in the game. Well, three. The princess, the tank girl, Misa or whatever her name is, Graven here, and God Slayer Musashi, or Shin. I'm going to call him Musashi. Those are the characters I've pretty much been playing with. I started off with Graven as like my main character, pulling the rest of the party, and then when I pulled Shin, I knew I had to level him up just because he does so much single target damage. I think the rogue might do more. I'm not sure. I don't have the rogue, and I have not been able to see like what his actual talents are and stuff. It'd be nice if he had like treasure find or something awesome like that, but who knows. But the characters that I really do want to pull next, I don't know why, but for some reason this unit screen, there we go. The characters that I really want, I want to pull a Blood. I just really like, I've obviously played these characters. The fact that just his blood spells do a shit ton of AoE, and I just really like them. I just think this sorcerer is cool, so I really want him. But the main sorcerer that I see is it the Sage? Yes, the Sage. This is, man, this guy has like a Phoenix ability where he shoots a flaming bird out of his hand. That does a lot of damage, and it pushes the enemy back, and it charges up very quickly. So this guy can move enemies around and keep them away from him with that, and kind of keep them pinned in a corner if you need to, if you save a few of those up. So he's really awesome for just clearing levels. He's going to cast Blizzard and just do a shit ton of damage, AoE to everybody, and just clear levels out like that till you get to the boss. And then if you have a character that can be an MP battery and give him back some magic points, then he can just, well, he can either just start using all his skills on the boss that he saved up, or, you know, get him some magic points back. The point is, a lot of people set these characters up on the friends list, so, you know, they can just pretty much spam the level for you and clear a bunch of content. So if I had one, I would definitely set him up like that. This guy is an awesome character. Overall, though, I personally just want the Blood Mage. The Thief would be nice. Single target damage, a lot of it from what I can see. But I already have a dude named the God Slayer, so I'm pretty happy there. I think the Prince is the other tank in this game right now. And his super, you know, his last ability, it actually heals everybody and restores everyone, so that's kind of cool, but you can't really count on that because you have to wait to get it. Those things take a long time to load. Other than that, this guy's got great crowd control. He makes a bunch of spears come out of the ground, and he throws enemies up in the air. And we've talked about how good that is. Well, those spears keep him up there, and he gets that ability pretty quick, so he can recycle it pretty quickly, and he has some good AoE stuff and really good crowd control, and he sports a high defense, can take a lot of punishment. I've ran a few games with this guy. He's pretty cool. I wouldn't mind having him, but I don't know if I would immediately field him because I do like the tank that we have right now, Misa or whatever. The Sea King is pretty cool too. I've seen him do some gnarly stuff. Haven't got a chance to play with him all that much. I've only seen him on my friends list a few times. So, but remember guys, the important thing is not so much the characters, but the arcs that you have to give these characters abilities. I will say this, the Glutton is very powerful. His final move is called Abaddon, like, because, I don't know, this guy is Abaddon, that's why he, like, just has to consume everything. I think that's the whole premise here. But this guy's a monster. His hammer does a bunch of shockwaves on the ground and like stuns people, messes them up, and it's a bunch of hits. He can also turn himself into just a rolling cannonball and pin somebody in the corner of the screen and do a shit ton of damage there. So yeah, those are pretty much the characters that we have right now. And really, for a game that came out like what 2-3 months early, this is a very complete game, because if you stop and think about how many arcs there are and how many possibilities, and also each arc, can we look at this one? Each arc has a Trustmaster reward. Like this one is a grab. With 108 defense. That's pretty good. That's a lot better than the damn items I'm buying right now from the shops. So I can't wait to start getting the Trust Masters off of the Materias. Yeah, I'm gonna call them by their grandfathered names, Materias and Trust Masters. So that's really cool. Can't wait to get into all that. Haven't even looked through all the materials for all of the arcs, but I know there's a lot of good stuff in there. But I know it's also going to be a while till I get any of it. So we might as well cover gear. As far as I'm concerned, the best strategy you can do as far as buying gear in this game from the towns when you first start playing, obviously you have to buy equipment from the first town to have any sort of equipment on your characters at all, and you're going to buy some stuff from the second town. There is a dress there that costs 80,000 gold. That is the best, well, one of the best low-level items to have for the tank girl that we get, Misa. It's in this shop right here as soon as you make it to this city. And this dress, it costs 80,000 gold. And it's for women, and it draws enemies' attention. So it makes it very good on Mies because she aggroes everybody, and that's obviously less damage on other characters because they're all attacking your tank. So it makes sense, that's what you want. Other than that, I pretty much would suggest skipping this shop. Kind of an in-between shop. I would just get maybe 1 or 2 things for the main characters that you use. Don't go ham buying a bunch of stuff for the characters that you have sitting around, because there is a better shop. And where is it? Okay. Yeah, right here. Actually, that's where I just was at. This is the better shop. This has some good stuff in it, like the Thunder Drill, which Graven can use. It costs 20,000 gold, but it actually has lightning element to it, and it has a high attack. So I would aim for these items in this town and get the least amount of items that you can from the town before it. Save yourself some gold, because you're going to be using that gold to increase the size of your tank so you can have a higher capacity of blue stamina. I know there's souls or spirits. I'm gonna call it blue stamina and red stamina. You guys are gonna know what I'm talking about. You can use gold to buy blue stamina, but to buy red stamina you have to use a shit ton of blue stamina. And oh yeah, to level up arcs it costs a shit ton of blue and red stamina. So farming this is a whole nother game in its own, but you want to save up gold and you want to increase your blue tanks to a capacity that's large enough for you to save up enough blue to unlock more red. Okay, and I'm still in the process of doing that right now. My red soul tank level is only level 2. Once I really get that grinding and collecting those resources for me, that's when I'm really going to start leveling up my arcs. But right now I'm just trying to clear story and get crystals and really just enjoying the story and how ridiculous it is. Some of the subquests are just like when you go to the bottom of the ocean and you have to fight at the bottom of the ocean and the characters are talking to each other, and the one's like, I can't hold my breath much longer even though they're talking the whole time. I also like how the combat at the bottom of the sea is different. You move slower. Even when you do an aerial attack, it takes you a while to land. You even kind of float a little bit. The fact that they did stuff like that, I think, is just really cool. I mean, it took probably a lot of extra time to do that, and they did. You know, they didn't make it the same exact type of fight with just a blue underwater background. They actually made it to where the characters are moving slower because they're moving through water. To me, that's awesome, right? The devil's in the detail. I love it. So you know what, since you guys sat through my video at 4 or 5 in the morning to kill some time and show you the progress that I've made in this game while I'm waiting to take my dog to get surgery, thank you for sitting through and hanging out with me, sort of say, in a way. So we're gonna do, let's do a 10 pull. Now, statistically speaking, and because I'm recording this, I'm probably gonna get nothing on this pull, because I've been thinking about it, like, I've gotten so many SSRs off of these pulls that to get this many of them in a row would just be ridiculous. So I'm not expecting much, but you never know. It is a gotcha. So let's see how we do. So I already showed you guys how many characters I've pulled. I have not pulled any other SSR arcs since I got the airship and the giant worm. Okay, and I need to mess with the settings in my emulator. Oh, and here we go. Is it? We're gonna talk. Is it gonna turn red? Oh, it's yellow. Oh, come on, baby. Oh, god damn it. No. Well, a lot of SR, so I can be happy with that. Like I said, they can't all be SSRs. It would have been cool though. I did not get any new arcs, but hey, what are you gonna do? I think I've done plenty well in this game for the $30 that I've spent. I have a lot of the characters, and I still have a shit ton of the SSR stuff to work on as far as the arcs go. We'll take a look at my arcs real quick. Yeah, I was messing with the settings in Nox, and I haven't found the best settings for this game yet. In fact, I think I had it running better earlier. But I have the sandworm here. This thing is absolutely awesome. While doing physical damage, damage taken minus 21%. Yes, please. So obviously things like this you want to wear to a boss fight. They're kind of expensive to run. You know, they cost you some of your red ore. So I mean, but these are the arcs that pretty much a lot of my heroes are actually going to be wearing when they're going to fight some kind of godlike boss or being. So I can't wait. I love this game so far. Right now, this is the hottest mobile game I've seen. It's right up there with Landgrisser. I can't really like compare them because Landgrisser is like a straight strategy game, and this is a really good story anime RPG. So I just want to let you guys know what I've been up to past couple days. This has been it. I think I've made pretty good progress in 3 days. Let me know what you think. If anybody out there has any tips or pointers or anything I missed, let me know. And please, please be kind. It's 5 in the morning. I know this wasn't a perfect vid. You guys have a good night. I'm about to go start drinking coffee and getting my truck warmed up. Peace, everybody. Thank you.